You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge
David Muzal.
The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is Judge
David.
All rise. Thank you. Case number 33 on account of United States versus Mr. Molly. Here you go, Judge. Thank you. The judge has been sworn in. You may be seated. Says here, this is count 1 of conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute heroin. You plea bargain for count 1 in return for dismissal of all other counts, and you have provided substantial evidence to assist the government regarding your case. I'll keep that in mind. You may get a sentence below the mandatory minimum. Alright. Now, well, this isn't your first offense, is it? Okay, so selling heroin 21. When you were 21, 5 years probation. Selling narcotics when you were 26, 2 to 4 years. You violated your patrol. Caught selling marijuana when you were 26 again, and when you were 28. Third-degree robbery, 3 years in prison, and you had 5 disciplinary reports and lost privileges on 2 occasions. Okay, at this point, Mr. Malley, you are considered a career criminal. You have a criminal history category of 6. That's the highest they get. Any sympathy that I may have had for you has since diminished. What this means is you have 3 prior convictions, 2 involving controlled substances, and 1 a crime of violence. Now, I'm usually pretty loose when it comes to drug charges because the victim is crime, and we all know how much the war on drugs has been ineffective. But as much as I'd like to rehabilitate you, you appear to have refused to modify your behavior in the past. You've completed the network substance program. You did outpatient drug treatment. That's great, but you're still sitting in front of me right now, which proves that none of those programs have been effective. You're a very high candidate for recidivism. Now, what am I supposed to do with you? I could send you to rehab, where you could just make more customers there, or I could, well, minimum sentence here says 10 years. The maximum is life. I'm not going to do 10. They're recommending 180 months. That's 15 years. I agree with that. You will be ineligible for probation. I think that you need to get off the streets, and you've been selling drugs since you're 21. You're 36 now. That's 1 year in prison for every year you've been selling drugs. That seems fair to me. Now, I'm skeptical if prison will have any positive impact on you, but you've proven resistant to rehabilitation and deterrence, and at this point, you just need to get off the streets. And if you behave, hopefully you'll be able to see your daughter before she turns 21. Now, the minimum fine for this offense is $17,500. The maximum is $4 million. However, if I recall, the court says that you don't have the ability to pay a fine, and they've waived it. If I remember correctly, agents seized $100,000 in cash bundles and jewelry appraised at $50,000 in your residence when you were caught. So this not having money thing, I'm not buying it. I'm going to veto the waived fee. I'm going to fine you $20,000. Jail time hasn't seemed to work in the past or make an impact on your decisions, so maybe money is a language that has a little more leverage over your behavior. Now, if you had me when you were 21 on your first offense, I would have been much more lenient. I'm all about keeping first-time drug offenders out of prison. Every individual felon costs the government $30,000 per year. The average is about each citizen, including myself, has to pay around $260 in taxes on corrections just to keep prisons running and felons like you comfortable. Now, it's not a cost-effective system, but this is your 4th strike. You're going to have to go there. As a felon, I'm sure you know, you are one, you've been one. I don't need to remind you, you're ineligible for any federal benefits up to 5 years. This includes student loans, financial aid, that kind of thing. Being a felon will become a barrier into entering any professional discipline. Also a barrier for pursuing any education, although I still suggest you do these things. You've lost your right to vote. However, in the state of Texas, you will regain your right to vote upon your release. You've lost your right to possess a firearm. However, 5 years following the completion of your incarceration, your gun rights will be restored in Texas. You have lost the right to possess a firearm anywhere except your own residence. You may not serve on a jury. You may not hold public office. In summary, Mr. Molly, I have sentenced you to 15 years in prison with a $20,000 fine. Do you understand your sentence? This court is adjourned.